through the first 5 games on this trip. Gio looks to keep the momentum going in Game 2 against the Angels. The Nationals have become quite a road show, whether it's National League Baseball or Interleague. It's 5 in a row on this trip, and now trying to sweep a short 2-game series at Angel Stadium in Anaheim. Bob and FP, what a night it was last night. It's like every ingredient was there. The slugger, the starter, and then the new bullpen guys, and it was really remarkable what everybody accomplished in that Game 1 win. That was a heck of a ball game.
Yeah, I mean, we're in Los Angeles. It was like a movie last night. It all started in the first inning with Bryce Harper. It was Harper versus Trout. That's what it was billed at. You read the newspapers in Los Angeles, everybody talking about it. Bryce in the top of the first with 2 outs, nobody on, hits his 24th, and you're thinking, no way Mike Trout hits a home run his first time up. He comes up, hits a home run his 17th, and you're wondering, well, what can Edwin Jackson do? We haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, 7 innings, 2 runs on 91 pitches. Gave up a couple of solo homers, and guys can make good careers doing that. And then there's some late offense. Anthony Rendon, he's on a bit of a home run streak. He keeps it going. So the Nats got back even, and then Bryce Harper, a triple. He would be brought home immediately by Ryan Zimmerman, and then the Nats would hold on to win this thing, but they generate offense late to keep it steady for that bullpen.
And the new guys, they talked about the nerves last night, how it felt like their Major League debut. Sean Doolittle after saying, I won't do that to you every time. A little eventful 9th inning, but they got that one under their belt, and a nice win for the Nats.
And then the offense during the winning streak, the runs per game are remarkable. The batting average almost 330, the power, and they're doing it in clutch situations as well. We have other numbers for you in a second, too, about how good the starters have been, because it all starts right there on the mound.
Yeah, I mean, the starters have been great. The offense has been great. The defense has been great. Gio Gonzalez is having a fantastic year, but you look at the starters the last 5 games, 5-0 and 0.79 ERA. Are you kidding me? And look at the opponent's average at just 151.
Yeah, 2 of those 3 runs were last night on a couple of solos. So Gio in Cincinnati on Friday night. And FP, we were kind of looking at this early in the game and seeing some of the best command he would have all year.
Yeah, he's been doing it with the fastball command. His curveball's been better than ever this year. He's been calm, he's been confident, and he's been one of the best pitchers in the National League and in baseball. His ERA is 3rd in the National League. His ERA is 4th best in all of baseball. So Gio Gonzalez getting it done. We're looking for a big one here tonight. Dusty Baker loving what he's seeing from his left-hander this year.
Yeah, Gio pitches into the night. Got Joey Votto as his last batter. Then we fast forward a bit to tonight. Fans sometimes get into panic mode when there's a guy getting a night off. Bryce Harper gets that night off tonight. But Dusty, and you have chirped about this for years and years, the way he uses his bench, and these guys are ready because this team scores when big boys are sitting down.
Well, you keep the starters fresh, you keep the bench guys fresh, you ask them to pinch hit, they produce, so Dusty Baker uses his bench. We're looking for big things from Rayburn and Heisey tonight. Going to be another good game here from Los Angeles.
And of course, Adam Lind is the DH, and Anthony Rendon, you know he's in there, and he's on a 12-game hitting streak right now, kept that going last night. 20 for his last 42, 4 homers, 14 RBIs. The on-base percentage is crazy, almost 580. So who's the hero tonight with Harper sitting out? Take your pick. The Nats are red hot. By PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. Hard to get a camera out there. Center field, that's where the big boys hit homers. And this is a former #1 draft pick of the Nats, Alex Meyer. Humidity up a little bit here in Orange County tonight, 77. It's gorgeous. San Gabriel's a lot more visible today in the distance. The Nats batting average is now up to 280. Adam Lind, start him, pinch hitting, whatever. He's been great. 7 for 10, 2 and 4 on the road trip so far. Batting .331 with a .388 on base percentage. Playing in his 63rd game. Bryce Harper not in there tonight, so Murphy and Zimmerman bumped up to the 3 and 4 spots. And then Chris Heisey back out there tonight. Ryan Rayburn will play some left field. Heisey and right. So here's Alex Meyer, 27 years of age. The Nats drafted him #1. Then traded him for Denard Span, and then in a multiplayer deal became an Angel from the Twins.
Yeah, tall dude, 6'9", big time downhill fastball, averages 96 miles an hour. It gets on you. Last outing for the Angels was on the 3rd of July, so all the way back to the 3rd against Minnesota. Gave up 6 hits on 5 earned runs in 5 innings, struck out 6, walked 4, however. Curveball change to complement the big fastball. And here's the defense for the Angels tonight. Revere, Trout, Robinson, your outfield. Simmons, Escobar left side. Pennington, Crone right side. And Martin Maldonado behind the plate.
Ben Revere back out there. Had the outfield assist on the run. And here we go. First pitch of the game at 10:08 Washington time. Ball 1. Meyer this year, 3 and 5. 13th start, 4.18 ERA, but his ERA's been better over his last 10 starts. Corey Blazer, 8th year in the big leagues, has the plate. Doug Eddings at first, Laz Diaz at second, and the crew chief, there he is, Jeff Nelson, third base. That ball's well hit by Goodwin, out to center, backs up Trout, and he makes that catch about 3 steps in front of the track. Early game notes for you. Getting ready for the Nats' 94th game of the year. Sizzling on the road, second best in all of Major League Baseball. They've been outstanding. Anthony Rendon wins above replacement stat, keeps on going up. And the Angels, look at that. 39 runs last 16 games. Not even 2.5 runs a game. To my point against Meyer for Mike Scioscia, 3.42 ERA his last 10 starts. But he goes 3 and 4 over that time. There's a former American leaguer, Ryan Rayburn. And by the way, only one batter, Adam Lind, has had a matchup in the big leagues with Alex Meyer. Rayburn in his 12 starts, 326 this year. Ball sinking, 2-0.
Something about winning on the road as a big league team. It's nice to win at home, but when you win on the road, it brings you together. You know, you win at home, you jump in the car, you go home with the wife and the kids. You talk about it with them, which is great. But when you're on the road, you do it, maybe you stick in the clubhouse a little bit longer. You talk about the game. You talk about Edwin Jackson's outing last night. You walk back to the hotel together. Maybe you grab a pop after the game. And when you win on the road, I think it brings you really, really close as a ball club.
Well, 5-0. On this trip to Cincinnati and Anaheim so far. Rayburn takes that breaking ball and hits it well. That's going to back up Shane Robinson, who just joined them today after they had to DL Cameron Maybin. Braves lost again today.
Is that 6 in a row for the Cubs?
Yeah, the Cubs are hot.
And here they come, 6 in a row.
Yeah, the Mets won their ball game, breaking a 3-game losing streak. They salvaged one in their series so far from St. Louis. And here's Daniel Murphy, who, despite going 0 for his last 8, is still hitting .395 over 9 games. Meyer not an easy guy to hit. .212 the opponent's batting average. 47 hits in 61 innings. And Murphy will serve one up to the upper deck on the left side. A little quieter here tonight. They had the Mike Trout double MVP bobblehead giveaway last night. This place was jumping. Angels at home are 24 and 22 at the Big A. Target in, 1-1. Better get it in there. Off to the left side.
Daniel Murphy slugging .481 with 2 strikes since the start of the 2016 season. He is not afraid to hit with 2 strikes or do damage. That's first in all of baseball.
Loud line drive to right, and Shane Robinson, you return to the big leagues and the ball will find you twice in the first inning, and that's an outstanding play. He was hitting well at Salt Lake City, fielding well in Anaheim. They had 10 in the first inning throughout this road trip so far. Better things to come. Albert Pujols has always hit well against the Nats. In fact, it goes back to his St. Louis days against the Expos. Against the organization, 348, 24 homers, 51 RBIs against the Montreal-Washington franchise. Yunel Escobar, the ex-Nat, in the leadoff spot with Cameron Maybin now DL'd with a knee injury last night. And here's Gio Gonzalez, 7-2 career against the Angels. 11 starts and a 2.62 to go with it.
And there's the Arsenal fastball averaging 90 this year. Curveball 75, changeup 84. 8 1/3 shutout last start on the 14th at Cincinnati's longest outing since September 9th, 2013 at New York.
Escobar up hacking.
And you remember that outing, he flirted with a no-hitter, I believe. I think double Lutz hit one down the right field line. It was just fair.
Yeah, it was a drop shot. Mike Maddox's starters on this trip have been amazing. And Edwin Jackson joined the club last night. Even though Ryan Zimmerman was playing 30 feet or more off the first base line, he couldn't reach that one. And Escobar, who's now hitting around 320 since the end of April, is aboard to lead things off.
Vision Nats defense tonight behind Gio. Ryan Rayburn gets the start in left field. Chris Heisey in right. Stephen Drew gets the start at shortstop. Bryce with the night off. ESPN probably not happy about that, but hang with him. Play 162. It was a scheduled day off by Dusty Baker during the All-Star break. Dusty said, you know, I've managed a lot of All-Stars. You know, traveling to the game, playing in the game takes a lot out of you, so that's why I gave Ryan Zimmerman the day off, giving Daniel Murphy a day off, and now Bryce Harper.
Yeah, those two came in Cincinnati, and Bryce gets one here tonight. Plus, the ball club is off tomorrow before Scherzer takes on the D-backs Friday. Mike Trout, 12 career matchups against Gio, a walk and 1 hit. That is night starter with a bang last evening, batting third, but the Nats held him in check the rest of the night.
I mean, you talk about last night's first inning compared to tonight's first inning. I think I still had a hangover from last night's first inning. Bryce going deep, then Mike Trout going deep. Full house here at the Big A. That was awesome.
That was electric.
And when Jackson doing his thing on the mound, he was fantastic. One of my favorite games of the year last night. I think I said early, Angels, Nats, who cares? I take that back. It was a good one.
What an outing. Didn't walk anybody. 91 pitches, 57 strikes. It's one of the best games Edwin Jackson's pitched in the last 5 years or so in his career. Gio a check of the runner. Escobar doesn't run much. I mean, he's a leadoff guy who can get on base, and evidently Mike Trout's really amused they threw over. Unell, one stolen base. He's been caught 4 times.
Yeah, everyone's saying today that he was kind of feeling his way through that thing last night. Got a little help from his defense, settled in, got his rhythm, and it was just another ball game. And we were speculating, hey, no matter how many times you've been on that mound, you always want to see if your stuff adds up, if you get big league hitters out. And he said, man, they were coming out swinging, and I made the adjustments. Had a good night.
Upstairs, 3-2. Inside the numbers brought to you by Jeep. So go West, young man. Against the divisions in both leagues. 70th start, he's won 34. Lost just 15. Escobar holding, and Trout pulls it foul over by his dugout. Albert Pujols in the number 3 spot tonight. Mike Trout's only had 179 at bats this year in 51 ball games. Back in the lineup last Friday after missing 45 with that thumb injury. And Gio working him over pretty well with some heartbreaking stuff in.
A big curveball from Gio. Looked like he fouled off his left shin. I don't think that got any piece of the guard. It was above it. But Gio going with the curveball there, 3-2. He has a 71.7% ground ball rate on the curveball this season. That's first in all of baseball. So runner on first, nobody out. He's pitching for that double play with the curveball that he gets so many ground balls on.
Trout's bounced into 4 this year. That pitch is up. Easy take for him. 2 on, nobody out. Pujols at 238. 0 for 4 last night. A couple of ground balls and then a couple in the air later in the game. He did pin Bryce up against the wall in the 7th inning with a fly ball. So working on his command to the strike zone. Pujols a definite double play guy if he can get the grounder. Drew at short, doesn't play him as much to pull as teams usually do. And that's low and away, 2-0, and Matt Wieters approaches the mound.
They're reading body language, reading mechanics. Sees a little frustration. Going to go out there and try to tighten Gio up. He's done such a good job of being the navigator, the co-pilot, if you will, for Gio Gonzalez this year. Albert not even starting his hands on any of those pitches, almost like he's automatic taking a strike right now.
And a step off. And Pujols was ripping on 3-0.
You showed those first inning runs that Gio's allowed this year. You look at the 3-0 hack from Albert, green light all the way. He hasn't allowed a first inning run in any of his last 3 starts, dating back to July 1st, so he's trying to figure a way to get out of this thing.
Slips it by him to the outer edge.
That was 89, a 2-seam fastball. Albert Pujols swung at that like it was a changeup. Watch this swing. He's out in front of this. That's a fastball from Gio, and Pujols was gearing up for what looked like 95, and he threw an 89-mile-an-hour fastball. Watch this, out in front.
Three-two, nobody out. Runners are going, and that's a base hit to left. Escobar scores. To third goes Trout. And Albert Pujols, 1,873rd RBI, puts the Angels on top.
Well, a lot of managers don't start their runners 3-2 with nobody out for fear of the triple play, the line drive triple play. But Escobar going, Trout going, and Pujols going with the knock through the 5.5 hole to put his ball club up 1-0.
C.J. Cron, the first baseman. 220 hitter. He's been up with the Angels 3 different times this year. Watching this guy take some BP. He is big. 6'4", 235 out of Fullerton. Played college ball at Utah. And he was hitting, speaking of Utah, 268 at their AAA in Salt Lake City when he was recalled.
I'll show you what a good guy Albert Pujols was. We were catching their conversation at first. Let's read his lips. Watch this. I'm happy for you. Talk about Ryan's season and being an all-star again. Very classy move by the future Hall of Famer. Having a nice chat down there. That's the Sluggers Club.
Yeah. He's that kind of guy. Had a big charity golf event here on Monday and a day off. Raised a lot of money. Ryan Zimmerman, of course, has a heart for that with his Zims Foundation. Two of the best guys you could ever meet in baseball together over there.
Hey, he's pointing into the Nats dugout saying hi to some guys.
Murph.
It's just a love fest here in Anaheim. We're right next to Disney. It's the happiest place in the world. Everybody give everybody a hug. Rendon and Escobar hugging it third yesterday.
0-2. Swing and a miss on a good curveball in the dirt. So Gio, with that, gets his first out. Mercedes-Benz on the pitch cast.
Yeah, it's a pitch that's been the biggest weapon for Gio, getting back to that curveball. Kind of got away from it a little bit last year. Now he's loving what it's doing for him, and so are we.
Andrelton Simmons. Only got 3 at bats last night. That's how good Jackson and the pitching staff was. Number 6 hitter in the lineup, only got 3 plate appearances.
You want your stat of the night for Gio's curveball? Opponents are hitting 132 against it this year. 10 for 102.
Wow.
On his curveball. Keep throwing it, Gio.
A lot of pitches here in the first inning. Number 23 about to happen.
You got the media guide for the Angels?
Right there.
Let's see what this guy weighs. Seriously, somebody's stealing his meal money. He looks so much leaner than he did as a Brave. To me.
They listed him in there at 200 when I looked it up.
Right.
But he's looking like 180 or 85 to us, right?
Maybe 175. 180. That's a good call.
2-1. High in the air to center. Tagging is Trout. Ryan Goodwin's going to throw it into second base, and the Angels lead 2-0. For Simmons, RBI number 40.
Good at bat, got the job done. Talking to Gio as he's running by.
And that was the right thing for Goodwin. No chance. Trout can move it. And Martin Maldonado is the hitter, setting some career highs in several different categories.
I remember when Andrelton Simmons was enemy number 1. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Coming in spikes high on some slides. He had a lot of mannerisms at the plate as a Brave. I think Steven Strasburg actually threw a couple balls behind him.
Those got away. Steven was quoted after the game.
They slipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember he wasn't really well liked when he was a Brave around these parts. That said, probably a guy you'd want on your team.
Yeah, and it did seem back then the Braves hit Harper 3 times, or every 1 time. The Nats might have threatened to do that against Simmons or one of his teammates. That was kind of an ugly time between
12.
the clubs.
12, right? I believe.
Sounds about right.
I know Davey was the manager, and there was a lot of chirping going on about when are we going to drill somebody back within the clubhouse. Remember, Davey didn't believe in hitting guys. And there was a lot of guys on the Nats that year that definitely believed in hitting some Braves. It took a while to do it, but they finally did. Stuff we couldn't talk about 5 years ago that we can now.
As we mentioned last night, 6 years since the Nats were here, and on the first day they were here, Davey was named the manager. There's a 2-hopper. Charging is Drew, and he'll just shovel it over to Murphy. So the Angels get a couple. Ryan Zimmerman, and we're happy for you too, Ryan. Great season so far.
The Orioles earlier on tonight. After going through a rough stretch over the last couple weeks, Ryan Zimmerman says he started to feel more locked in offensively over the last couple days, and he goes through these stretches a few times a year. He says it's hard to really pinpoint exactly why they happen, but the key for him to getting through these stretches is sticking with what he's doing. He'll do some minor tinkering, but he's found that if he makes major adjustments, a 10-day, 2-week slump becomes much longer. So he'll have these stretches where he can't really explain what the problem is, just feels off. He chases pitches out of the zone, fouls off pitches he would normally drive, but says he doesn't want to mess around with stuff too much. He said with a smile that every hitter except maybe Daniel Murphy or the Angels center fielder has slumps. His key is staying with what's gotten him here. Make some minor adjustments, but not overhaul anything, and trust what's gotten him to this point.
Coons.com sideline report. Thanks, Dan. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons.
Well, a lot of times it's nothing to do with mechanics. You just get mentally tired, grinding out at bat after at bat, sitting on pitches, looking in zones. Get mentally tired, and then sometimes the bat just feels heavy. You'll pick up a bat halfway through the season and it feels heavy.
How well placed is the grounder? Simmons over to get it, and he gets Ryan Zimmerman by a step. 4 straight for Alex Meyer to start the game. First ground ball out, and Adam Lind, he likes that DH role, and he was outstanding last night.
Yeah, proved to be a big tater in the 9th last night, leading it off, gone. His 8th of the year, and he pured it to straightaway center over the hedges that we still haven't found out if they're fake or real yet. I really don't care. But it was a big home run, turned out to be the difference.
They're real.
Are they?
Yeah, I can tell.
I never could tell.
Inside with a heater to Lind. As we mentioned earlier, 7 for 10 on this road trip. 43 hits in 62 games. Meyer had a good first inning. 3 fly ball outs. 2 of them were really well hit. 11 pitches, 7 strikes. Lind, the only Nat, as I mentioned, who's ever hit against him. 0 for 1 in an American League matchup. Shift on. Simmons nearly up the middle. It's a good looking hook at 84 that came back.
I'm digging the Colonel's collateral facial hair right now. It's not just a little.
He looks menacing to me.
I don't even know what you call it. Goatee?
And then Meyer tried it again. That one stayed away.
That's a good look. He looks mean. I'm walking him if I see that. 4 wide.
Yeah, to get to that guy? What's wrong with you?
Yeah. wait a minute. Sorry.
2-2. Ooh. And he leveled up and hit one straight back. So tonight is the first time on this trip the Nats have not led early.
What's wrong with them?
They had at least a 5-run lead in every game, 5-0 lead in every game in Cincinnati. Did he go? He did. Corey Blazer pointing right at him, and Alex Meyer has his first strikeout. That's 5 in a row for him to start the game.
It's a pretty big tater. Number 20 on the year for Anthony Rendon last night. This was in the 7th inning, so leadoff homer in the 7th for Rendon, leadoff homer in the 9th for Lind. This was a far tater. And the National League Player of the Week keeps on keeping on with 3 hits last night.
Career high, 21 home runs, 83 RBIs. Back in 14, he surpassed the RBI total last year with 85.
2 hits last night. I was looking at Lind's line score. Hit the ball hard though, second time up.
Game hitting streak, 20 for 42. 7th in the league at 320. 4th in on base percentage at over 420. And Meyer showing some pretty good movement so far, running that fastball back in there.
This is a type of guy that the Nats usually feast on. I mean, he's throwing 95, lots of fastballs. It's 2-0 right now, but I think they're just kind of taking it all in, doing their homework right now. Second time around might be a different story.
1-2 on the curveball. Or is that too hard for a curve? Slider? It's got some slurve action to it.
It's a curve. Those are hard curve.
That is hard.
Yeah, they're talking down there. What has he got? What's it look like? What's his fastball doing?
That's on the edge, and Rendon caught looking on a couple of hooks. 6 straight for Alex Meyer against the team that drafted him.
You're looking at Daniel hits Murphy. Nats don't have one yet, but you can have lots of hits, and that's the worst segue ever. The Nats are in pursuit of the NL East Division title. For just 48 hours, you can purchase a 4-game pack against each of their NL East rivals. Sorry, Bob, that's just terrible. 50% off is all you need to know. Offer ends 2 p.m. on Thursday, July 20th. Visit Nationals.com/flash sale to get your pack today. Brutal. That was brutal.
I almost gave you my broadcast laugh, but I just couldn't do it.
No, no.
The old
No, that's not even worth it.
bottom of the second, Robinson, Pennington, Revere, 7-8-9. Shane Robinson recalled today by the Angels.
He can fly.
He can, and what a catch he made on Daniel Murphy. Parts of 8 years with St. Louis, the team that drafted him, then the Twins, and now the Angels. Hit a .170, 73 here last year. 2 for 11 in 5 games this year. And recalled today from AAA when Cameron Maybin went into second base last night. He's on the DL with a knee injury.
Sprained it.
Robinson, a .227 career hitter. (3-1). Gio, 28 pitches, 18 strikes in a long first inning. So another long count here. And Robinson hits that ball pretty well out to left center, but closing on it, Rayburn in left tonight with Heisey over on the right side. Inside the numbers, brought to you by Jeep. Dusty is right behind Bruce Bochy, whose team started the day with 36 wins. Dusty with 57, so it's only a matter of time.
Dusty was 20 behind Bruce Bochy when the season started. Look at that, folks. Giants having a rough year. The Nats having a great year. He's almost caught Bruce Bochy.
Mike Scioscia right now is the dean of big league managers as far as longevity and continuity. 18th year with the Angels. He sends up Cliff Pennington here, the switch hitting second baseman. Up in the zone, but a strike to the outer edge. 2-1. Pennington hitting .234. Only 18 right-handed at bats, 4 hits. And he has his first career knock in 5 at bats against Gio Gonzalez. Angels with their 3rd hit. And now down to the number 9 spot for Ben Revere. .225 for the former Nat. And despite the lefty-lefty thing, he's done well career against Gio, 10 for 25. That got Rendon on the move.
I talked to Ben today in batting practice. I said, you realize your throw cost Bryce Harper a cycle last night. I said, what were you guys talking about? We had a shot of you guys laughing at second base. I said, during the review, I was telling Bryce, don't run on me, man. What are you thinking? Don't run on this arm. You know I got a good arm. He was being sarcastic.
That's exactly why Bryce ran.
Yeah. It was good catching up with him, and he held his thumb and his index finger out. He said that close to a cycle last night.
Ben always has something to say.
Sometimes,
very outgoing.
Yeah, sometimes to himself in left field. Remember that last year? We catch him talking to himself out in left. Having a tough year offensively, you'll talk to yourself. It happens. .1-0 pitch and a good
Location for the 89 for Gio, 1-1.
Tough on lefties.
Coming into this one overall, third best National League ERA, 2.66. Fifth best opponent's batting average, 2.15. And this one out to center. Goodwin still going short of the track. That ball had a little extra gear to it. All the way back to first goes Pennington.
Well, in case you missed it last night, this is how close Bryce Harper came to a cycle. You might have missed it. You might have been sleeping. It's okay. You got a job. But here's Bryce. He said he was safe. He was originally called out. Look at him hustling right out of the box. Tried to jam his foot in there. If he was safe, he would have had a cycle, and it was that close.
Wow.
To a home run, a single, or a double, a single, and then a triple last night. They would challenge it. New York said there wasn't enough evidence to overturn it, and it stood. So he'll settle for a lousy 4 for 4. And a night off tonight, scheduled.
Bob Henley, Jock Jones on either side, and here's the top of the order with Escobar, who went the other way for a base hit to start their 2-run rally first inning. So he's now 2 for 11 career against Gio. Close. Escobar, contact guy, only 41 strikeouts and 293 at bats. He's got a lot more room on the right side. Statcast on the leadoff, powered by AWS.
13 is pretty large.
It is. Pennington stealing 2 for 3 this year. High strike, and it's 2-1. Gio taking an extended look at Corey Blazier. Let's see what Nissan thinks.
Pretty close. Matt Wieters kind of took the downward movement of the sinker with his glove. That might have cost him a strike call.
So 10 batters, 4th time to a 3-ball count. That ball ripped to the left side. Rendon, he's got time. Never panicked, and a bullet to Zimmerman. To the 3rd we go. Nats still looking for their first hit, down by a couple.
Bring your family to a ball game with the Nats Family Fun Pack. That's presented by Harris Teeter. Enjoy the ball game, a beer with Bud and Baseball, presented by Budweiser. For all the details on how you can save this summer, visit nationals.com/deals.
Now Dusty might consider moving around in the dugout here. 6 up, 6 down to start the game. Games in the Mountain Time Zone. Of course, that's the Rockies. And then out here against a whole bunch of ball clubs. 11-3 this year. So outscoring the opponents roughly 7 to 4.5. And the Jeep also likes the batting average and the numbers with runners in scoring position. Matt Wieters left-handed, 245 overall, 249. Alex Meyer, 23 pitches, 15 strikes.
Should put Sleep When You're Dead, not Late Show on that, but whatever. These guys don't care what time it is. Remember that Rockies series? They played the Sunday night game in New York, got in at 4 in the morning, and still thumped the Rockies the next day.
3 out of 4 in that series. Not missing a sweep by much. 1-1. Matt Wieters last night, couple of hits, and a great job working with Edwin Jackson. Last night's barrage. Not that 4 runs is a barrage, but the Nats had 12 hits. Got that team batting average up to 280 coming into this one.
That's crazy.
Hard to do these days. Most teams in the high 250s, mid 260 range. And Alex Meyer has a pretty good hook going right now. He's struck out 3 in a row. The Nats road ahead, driven by your local Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyFirst.com. So let's see how game times figure into the weekend. For the Nats, 9:40 Friday at Arizona with Max, 9:40 Saturday with Tanner, and 4:10 Sunday with Steven Strasburg.
Really use that off day tomorrow. These last 2 games have been rough.
I think the Nats notes were wrong on the Saturday game. That thing's like an hour and a half earlier than the Friday game. So what you saw on the screen was correct. Oh-2. Stephen Drew, 24 for 88 in 42 games. 286 over his last 25 contests. Drew and Heisey down in the 8 and 9 spots tonight.
Those are the Peter Gabriel Mountains. They seem better tonight, right?
Yeah, they're more visible than they were yesterday.
The smog blew out of here. They've been having a lot of fires around here. So, yeah, that's our view.
You just gave all Genesis fans a charge out there. The great Peter Gabriel. 0-2.
That's awesome that you finally got a music reference.
Well, that's my era. I mean,
know.
you know, the 70s.
80s.
We weren't sure what Genesis was really trying to do, but we sure liked listening to their music.
I agree.
As complicated as any of them out there. I still go back and listen to them a lot. 2-2 to Drew with Heisey on deck here, top of the 3rd.
Nats need a knock right now.
Off speed. Hooking hitters to death here. 4 Ks in a row for Alex Meyer, trying to go perfect through the first time around.
Pretty good slider cutter thing right there. It says curveball, but that had slider action. You look at his arsenal.
So 3 fly balls, then a grounder, and now no contact. There's Heisey in right field tonight. Bryce Harper's territory. Drew a walk, was 0 for 3 in the number 9 spot last night. Bryce had an all-around game. Then Heisey to center. Not moving much, Mike Trout. He will lead off the bottom of the 3rd. And I promise you, Bryce will be watching. Frank Robinson accused reliever Brendan Donnelly of having a foreign substance, pine tar, on his glove. The umpires investigated. Donnelly was ejected. Mike Scioscia told Frank Robinson he was going to have all the Nationals pitchers undressed. They got in each other's face. The glove was confiscated. Benches and bullpens cleared, and then Guillen later would hit a home run in the 8th inning to tie things up. And the Nats would eventually win that game on a night when Scioscia and Robinson were jawing at each other and evidently wanted a little more.
What I took out of that melee was Frank Robinson was wearing sunglasses at night.
Well, if he was looking at me, I'd prefer that, because nobody wanted to get, as we used to call it, the look from Frank. Gio with a great curveball. Mike Trout walked and scored on the Simmons sac fly back in the 1st. And of course we had the Davey Johnson, Joe Madden thing when the Rays came to Washington several years later.
Called him a weird wuss. I still don't know what that is.
Joel Peralta, a former Nat, was ejected for having something going on out there.
Yeah, Davey Johnson called Joe Madden a weird wuss.
Poor Joe, he never recovered after that.
Nope, lots of therapy.
Had to go to Chicago just to forget about it and win a World Series.
He was running away from something.
2-2. Great sight lines to this ballpark wherever you're sitting. Not a bad seat in the house here. On a pitch away. Gio took a little bit off and gets the strikeout, his 2nd of the night. Mercedes-Benz pitch cast.
Good changeup. 84, pulled the string. Trout with a little shake of the head like, good pitch, dude, after he struck out. Bottom kind of dropped out of that.
Albert Pujols got the Angels going on the scoreboard with an RBI single first time up. And that one is up. He's got 30 RBIs to catch Willie Mays for number 9 on the all-time list. Two-one. Ball's well hit the other way to the right field corner and to the right of the foul pole. This ballpark has a little similarity to Dodger Stadium down those lines with the curvature of the wall, although it's deeper here at 350 just to the left of that pole and 347 on the other side. 8 o'clock here, 11 p.m. We love it when you stay up late with us for Nats baseball. Got some bonus coverage too after the Orioles did it to the Rangers again, 10-2 this time around. And a 2-2, so we welcome that audience. And this one popped right over the top of us. Just starting to arrive at that twilight time here at 8 o'clock local.
California sunset.
Two-two. Called strike. Pujols dropping his bat right in front of the umpire, Corey Blazer, and then picking it up and walking away.
Big time show up, but I guess if you're Albert Pujols, you can do that. See what PitchCast thinks about it. Little change up from Gio, bottom of the zone. Albert just drops his bat right in front of Corey Blazer. Bryce Harper does that. He's ejected from the game.
C.J. Cron, the hitter. So Gio, a couple of consecutive Ks here.
I guess you earn a little equity when you've treated umpires well your whole life to have a moment like that. And Bryce has been great with umpires the last few years. His body language has improved. He doesn't argue calls like he used to, but if he did that, I'm telling you, his reputation, he'd be taking a shower right now.
1-1.
It's twilight for the broadcasters too. I'm losing these foul balls, and we are in prime territory to get drilled.
Yeah, one of the lower vantage points here. They've done a remarkable job keeping the stadium new looking, vibrant and clean. Built originally, opened in '66 with Gene Autry's old Angels. And this one out to right center. Cut off by Goodwin, and C.J. Cron has a base hit. Uncorked for a cause. Gio's very own 2014 Sonoma Reserve Red Wine will be released on Thursday, the 27th, at the Ted and the Bully Bar in DC Northwest. So uncorkedforacause.com if you'd like to sponsor the event, and they're one of the beneficiaries. It's dream@nationals.com, the Nationals Dream Foundation, as well as Hialeah Baseball down in Florida. That's in the Miami area, and of course Gio's alma mater. There's Andrelton Simmons, sac fly first time up, his 40th RBI.
That was July 27th.
Yep.
Did you get your invitation?
Nope.
Me neither. Sounds like fun, Gio.
Yeah, we're not angling for anything.
Looks like a good time, Gio. Bob will write you a check.
Said the guy who won't. Rendon all the way across. Good pick by Ryan Zimmerman. To the fourth we go. We'll battle it out here in the booth while you take a break. RAV4 Toyota. What drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals. Caltrain. Top four, top of the order. Goodwin, Rayburn, Murphy here. Beautiful evening. And MLB.com at bat will keep you going with everything around baseball. It's the #1 mobile app. Stay connected. It's a fully customizable experience. Home screen icons, app features, game day, live game video, and StatCast. Download MLB.com at bat. Lights trying to take effect here. From here to the sizzling heat of Phoenix.
And we'll show you that same rattlesnake on the railroad tracks too. We've been showing you for 7 years.
Strike call to Goodwin. Fly ball to center first time.
All right, we have an official alert, and maybe you'll get it on your Masson if you text 29292 to change seats right now. This is not a warning. This is the real deal. Everybody change seats. So wherever you're at, move. You got his alert? Change your seat then, meet.
We've all paid for our seats one way or another.
I'm
not sure he wants to leave, but
there you go. All the way up to 213 second time around.
that ball's ripped. One hop right to C.J. Cron. Starters have been spectacular, Dan, on this road trip.
They have indeed, Bob, and that's without one of the guys who has been in this rotation for much of this season, Joe Ross, who had Tommy John surgery earlier today down in Dallas. The procedure went successfully, according to Davey Johnson. Typical recovery time for Tommy John, 12 to 18 months. So it's possible we see Joe Ross at some point in the second half next year. Dusty saying that at this point, so many guys have had Tommy John come back from it throwing harder than before. He says, I'm just hoping that Joe comes back stronger than he was before the operation.
Yeah, we were so concerned about the velocity, so that's obviously been answered.
Yeah, get well, Joe. We're rooting for you. You come back stronger than ever, no doubt.
Max in his old digs in Arizona Friday night. 1-1. Scherzer, Roark, and Strasburg for the 3 games at the D-backs, who've been struggling a bit over the last week or so. And the Dodgers just keep on winning.
Paul Goldschmidt went 1 for 1 with 4 walks last night.
Tapper, left side. Simmons. Rayburn retired, 2 down. So after the strikeouts, a fly ball to end the third, and now 2 bouncers here in the fourth. And Daniel Murphy's come the closest to a hit with that drive to the right field corner, run down by Shane Robinson for the final out, first inning. All right, the big time hitters count here. And Murphy ripping the other way, carrying Revere short of the track. 1, 2, 3 for the 4th straight time for Alex Meyer. Baltimore at the big league level, 11 hits, 8 runs. He was brilliant for the Nats last night. Some strikeouts, some pop-ups, key outs, gave up a couple of solo homers, but you can do a lot of winning doing just that. 7 innings, 2 runs on 3 hits, didn't walk a batter, 3 strikeouts and 91 pitches.
Got better as the night went on. Started feeling comfortable out there. Got a lot of help from his defense. Brian Goodwin with a sweet catch, but yeah, big hug from Dusty Baker at the end of it all. Said, I'm just going to try to stay under the radar and do what I can to help this ball club win. His exact quote today when I was talking to him. I like it.
Well done, sir. His 94th big league win. Here's Martin Maldonado against Gio, bottom of the 4th. Pitch number 64 popped out of play. 6-4 on the grounder first time up.
Did they play together somewhere along the line? Let's say no.
This one may be playable. Ryan Zimmerman, long run, checking his surroundings, and he makes the final adjustment as the ball came back on him. That's how the bottom of the 4th gets underway. Inside the Numbers brought to you by BNC. So since the 30th of May, and that's when he made that 6 1/3 3-run game start at San Francisco. Gio 5 out of 8. The ERA great. Innings piling up. Great strikeout to walk ratio. Nobody hitting him. Quality starts all adding up. There's Shane Robinson, hit a fly ball to left first time. Fly ball to right this time. Cruising to it, Chris Heisey. Pennington with 2 down. Gio needs a couple of quick innings here in the middle of the game. Base hit to the right side, first time up, a line drive right over the reach of Daniel Murphy. One pitch. Rendon was playing quite deep. Curveball missed. 2-1.
Did Alex Meyer come up to the booth that night? You remember when Rendon and Goodwin got drafted and you had him on air? Was it Meyer or Perk?
It was Perk.
Okay, that's
Matt Perk. Yeah.
I remember Anthony just sat there, smiled, which is shocking now. And
Pretty good draft, by the way.
Brian was great. He talked to us. We had them both on the air. They just signed. I'm thinking to myself, you two punks aren't making it to the big leagues. No shot. Look at them now. One's a borderline MVP candidate, finished 5th a few years ago. Sneaky MVP candidate right now. And the other one's established himself as an everyday guy.
I got to give Anthony some props, though. After that game he had the other day, it was the 2-homer, 6 RBI with a grand slam thing in Cincinnati Saturday night. He did a wonderful post-game interview with us. The key to that, we didn't ask him about himself. He was great. So Heisey puts it away. Gio gets that quick inning.
favorite day ever. National Hot Dog Day. Get it in you, Joey Chestnut. That's what I'm talking about. Eat that thing like you're going to the electric chair.
That's Matt Perk right there.
That's Matt Perk. We had him in the booth with Anthony Rendon and Brian Goodwin. Or at least that looks like him. Let's just go with that. Washington, D.C. Lexus dealers will donate $250 to the Children's National Health System for the first 200 home runs hit by a Nats player this season. Lexus, experience amazing. Have a Nats team this season. If a player hits 200, we got news.
Brilliant.
I think she should have named it Trout.
Oh, that's funny.
Over here, you little fish.
Zimmerman, Lind, and Rendon. Cleverest sign ever by a kid. I'm sure she thought of all of that. And that big hook of Alex Meyer befuddling some Nats tonight. Ryan Zimmerman, first time up ahead in the count, ended up grounding out to short. So he's trying to retire his 13th consecutive batter to start the game. Nats haven't gotten him to pitch off the stretch yet. Good take by Ryan. The count's even. Meyer career 4-8, 4.99 ERA. This is his 19th big league start, 22nd appearance overall. Front door on the breaker, and Zimmerman's seen 3 in a row. Nissan will cast it.
Kind of backed up a little bit. Look where Maldonado's setting up. Looked where he caught it.
Couple of shakes. Then Zimmerman steps out. Four hooks in a row. Ryan rung up by the first base umpire, Doug Eddings. Strikeout number 5 for Meyer.
If he gets through this inning, we got to develop its story. I'm just going to say it. I mean, you get through Zimmerman, Lind, and Rendon perfect with a no-hitter. I think you might see some alerts.
Adam Lind struck out swinging first time. Rendon struck out looking.
I mean, if this was Max on the mound, we'd be thinking it.
That's a fair ball as it goes over the bag. Easy play for Crone. Unlimited baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile. So we're looking at National League leaders as far as active hitting streaks. Price gets the night off at 13. Rendon working on 12 as he steps in. Paul Goldschmidt, when they pitch to him, doing well. Charlie Blackmon just ahead of the others on our T-Mobile hit streak list. That one tailing up and in. Rockies put 18 on the board at home today against San Diego. Ball 2.
Humidor broken. They're talking about using a humidor in Arizona where the Nats are going next, eventually. You talk about ballparks to hit in on a road trip. You play in Cincinnati, then just only have 2 here and then jump to Arizona with this offense.
2-0 pitch. And he really pulled that one outside.
Do you think he's thinking no hitter and I'm not fighting back into the count with this guy? Just walk him so I don't have to give up a hit.
Except that it's a 2-0 game, and now Wieters represents the tying run.
Yeah, that's why I formed it as a question.
Yeah.
Something to think about. Did he want to pitch to Rendon, or would he rather pitch to Matt Wieters, who's been swinging it? Well, there goes the perfect game.
Matt struck out swinging first time after fouling off a couple of pitches. He was geared up for something hard, and he got that hard breaking ball under his hands.
It says curveball on Fangraphs. I ain't buying it. That's a slider.
Alex Meyer came into this game, 47 hits in 60 innings. A lot of walks, 41 with 68 Ks, and he just walked his first man tonight. So his strike zone command has been a lot better than it has been at the big league level this season. Oh, 2. Was originally drafted by the Red Sox, went to University of Kentucky. Nats took him with a 23rd overall pick out of there in 11. Must have been low. Nats to the Twins for Denard Span, November of 12, and then came out here with Ricky Nolasco and cash. It was an August 1st deal a year ago. 1-2 pitch. Wieters serving one to left, but it's going to hang up. And Ben Revere has it. No hits for the Nats through 5 against Meyer.
Use the electric chair reference again.
From him to a coloring book?
Yeah, there's another good segue by Peter Knight. On Sunday, July 30th, Nats take on the visiting Rockies. 1:35 start. Great homestand coming. Brewers, Rockies, fantastic. First 10,000 fans ages 12 and under receive a kid's coloring book, also known as My Scorecard. That's presented by the Potomac Nationals. To get your tickets, visit nationals.com/tickets. Oh, that made my night.
Well, Gio, 10-pitch fourth inning. Revere, Escobar, and Trout. And there are nights in the American League ballpark when you can stay in a ball game longer than you might usually. His spot due up second next inning, but I think even in National League Park, Gio pitching well enough that Dusty would make that move a little later. But it's something the manager just doesn't have to think about in the middle of the game. Revere just missing a fair ball down the right side. 1-1 strike. He had a fly ball to Goodwin first time. Alex Meyer, by the way, fantastic pitch count, averaging 12 pitches per inning, 60 through 5 with 36 strikes. Gio takes a little bit off, and he's in the zone in the outer half. 1-2.
Yeah, Alex Myers stealing the thunder tonight. Gio gave up 2 in the first. He's been nice. He settled down nicely after that.
Revere jammed. Zimmerman has to retreat quickly, and he turned around. The throw from Murphy was already on the way, like a well-timed football route there for the first out.
Check out Ryan Zimmerman on his toes. Then he says, "Uh-oh, I better get to first base. This guy can run." Murphy might have called him off on that. I couldn't tell.
Well done, and for Gio now 5 in a row, and 9 of his last 10. Top of the order, Escobar. Base hit to right, ground ball to third.
Talking to himself.
Not at all happy about the location of that strike. Counts even. Miguel Escobar, career batting average into the season, his 11th, 283. 284 the batting average with his 1 for 2 tonight. And the 2-2 with 1 out. He started, looked like he stopped. Full count with Trout on deck.
Yeah, I wasn't even close.
No. Remember that?
Yeah.
Out to short. Stephen Drew. Now you face Trout the way you like it. 2 outs, bases empty. When you have insight, you know how to handle your finances with confidence. Brought to you by PNC Bank. For the achiever in you. We've checked in a time or two on Taylor Gushue this year, the 23-year-old catcher. 60 RBIs, leading the Carolina League for the High A Potomac Nationals. So 15 and 60 for a catcher. Outstanding.
Bless you.
Gushue. Trout a walk and a strikeout. And ball 1 up and away with the heater.
He's got that inside-out swing, but he'll also look for something middle in and turn the fan on you if he's thinking that. You know, he gets most of his hits to center to right center, but he can pull you out of here. And he stands right on the plate, too, like Daniel Murphy. Kind of hangs out over that strike zone and dares you to come in because he's so quick on the inner half. He really doesn't have to think about the inside pitch. He just reacts to it.
Turning one over, and Trout not biting on the change.
It's a pitch he struck out on last time. Nasty change from Gio.
And a 2-1 with 2 outs. In the air, right center. It's playable. Goodwin lets Heisey know that he's there.
Did you say Trout not biting and I missed that? That's just horrible by me. That was great.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
The former first-round pick of the Nats doing it to his old ball club so far. Getting a little help from his friends. Shane Robinson robbing Daniel Murphy. That was a real nice play, and then he's just kind of doing it himself. I mean, the two-seam fastball running all over the place. The slider coming back the other way. There's another slider. So 5 innings of no-hit ball. Allowed 1 base runner, a walk to Anthony Rendon. That's it. 5 strikeouts. No runs and no hits.
His fellow draftees from that class 0 for 3 with a walk against him tonight. Here they are. Look at Anthony Rendon. Goodwin on your right, Meyer on the left, downstairs at Nationals Park in the press conference room.
Yeah, you get to the big leagues, you get facial hair. That's part of the deal. Except for Alex Meyer. I don't think he can grow a beard. There they are. They're all playing the same big league game now. One's doing really good.
We were told that's August 23rd, 2011.
I remember that like it was 2011.
60 pitches, 36 strikes, 5 innings for Meyer. Drew struck out swinging first time. 1-0 pitch, and Drew up the middle. Simmons on the shift to his left.
.62 pitches for Alex Meyer. Pitch count isn't an issue in this one for him. Look at that. 11, 12, 13, 10, 14. Huh.
Yeah, we see a lot of ball games where when a pitcher's going this well, it actually gets better for him as the game goes on because guys are hacking early and he has a chance of getting quick outs. Heisey to center first time up. His fly ball. Ball 1. So Dusty at the far end of the dugout. He has changed positions.
Somebody at home's being stubborn, sitting in the same seat, whatever.
Somebody asked me if we change seats. I gotta, I'll get up and move around in between innings. That's as well as we can do. And if you're hearing the fire alarm behind us, don't worry about it. It's gone off about 20 times since 5 o'clock this afternoon.
No-hitter alert.
Dive. The only base runner, Rendon, with the 2-out walk in the 5th.
Yeah, there it is.
I just hope it's not a torpedo. Swing and a miss. That's number 6 for Meyer. And he's working on out number 18 coming up in a moment.
Keeping him off balance. Sinker going one way, slider going the other. I know it says curveball, but that's a slider.
Somebody's grilling too many hot dogs. That's what's happening. Top of the order, here's Goodwin. Fly ball to center, ground ball to first. First pitch hook down and in.
I think you just get him in the stretch, you got a chance. But he kind of starts in the stretch. I don't know if there's much difference in his delivery. That Ross Detweiler thing going. Remember Ross, how he kind of started sideways, didn't really do a whole lot, keeping his center of gravity right underneath him. Steven Strasburg, who's been amazing out of the stretch exclusively this year.
So Goodwin, a couple of takes here to get the count to his favor. Hit a really hard one-hopper to first base. That's a fair ball into the right field corner. Brian Goodwin is off and racing into second base. Took a while, but
there goes a no-hitter.
And the Angel fans give their guy a nice round of applause, and he deserves it. It's one of the best offenses in baseball, even with Harper not in the lineup tonight.
Yeah, Brian Goodwin hit the ball hard his last time up to first. This time he hits it between Crone and the bag. It's just a bullet down the right field line. So the first knock of the night for the Nats is a double off the bat of the guy we just showed you. Brian Goodwin, one of the guys that was in that draft class up in the booth with us. There you go.
Had to be somebody from that class, right? His 12th double. Brian now has 21 extra base hits on the year.
I don't know if you remember, I said that night to you in 2011, Brian Goodwin's going to break up an Alex Meyer no-hitter someday in Los Angeles in the 6th inning. And you said, you're crazy.
I remember saying that, but I don't remember hearing that.
All right. I might have said 2016. I don't know. Can't remember.
Rayburn 0 for 2. Fly ball to right. Ground ball to short. Sounds like the first major league game ever televised from a submarine.
Tough to get a signal out of there.
Counts even 1-1.
Everybody finally changed seats. There you go.
Looking at the log for Meyer earlier, his longest outing of the year, 6 1/3 against the Tigers here on May 14th. He had one other game of 6 innings against the Dodgers here on June 28th. Both victories for the Angels. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ooh, that breaking ball was hanging a bit, and Rayburn took quite a swipe at it. You can tell by his expression, he thinks he had something to work with there. Averaging a hit just about every 3 at-bats in his starts this year. So his 3rd time up tonight, 1-2. Fastball by him at 95. So now a one-hitter for Meyer through 6.
Brand new relievers, Ryan Madson and Sean Doolittle, got in last night's ball game, recording the last 6 outs between them to lock down the Nationals' win over the Angels. And it was interesting talking to both of those guys after the game. They said that it was as amped up, as much adrenaline as they've had. Both of them said this since their big league debuts, and that means something, especially for Ryan Madson, who's pitched in World Series games, saying it was more intense than those games in the in the winter, or in the World Series. And Doolittle had a great line on his shaky 9th inning. He said, "I promise they won't all be like that," with a big smile on his face. And guys, it was really fun seeing the dugout reaction to the dominant 1-2-3 8th inning put up by Madson. Guys were screaming, celebrating. Jason Worth pounding his former and now current teammate on the back. Madson say they don't have to do that every time, but the first time out, it was really cool. The Nats welcoming their 2 new relievers in pretty impressive style.
That it was, Dan. Thanks for the Coons.com sideline report. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons. Albert Pujols 1 for 2 with an RBI single.
And we talked about it last night. Just get that first one under your belt. You know, you come in, you feel like you have to save the day. They're well aware of the bullpen struggles this year. A lot of adrenaline pumping. They likened it to their first major league ball game. So it didn't matter how it looked last night. Just get her done. Now you go. And that was fun to watch. Seen a lot of those 4-2 leads disappear in a hurry. So yeah, I'm starting to think we should go out single file right now. I'm getting worried.
4-pitch walk. Albert Pujols not happy with strike 3 last time. Gio Gonzalez, his second walk of the night, first since the first inning, and C.J. Cron is next. So the Angels box, all their scoring in that first inning. Escobar with the base hit, Trout the walk, Pujols drove in the leadoff guy. And then on the second out of the inning, Simmons sac fly to center, made it 2-0. 2 hits since. There's C.J. Cron, who has one of those, and that's a big roundhouse curveball for a strike.
Someone just tweeted me that they moved countries for the base hit, so thanks. It's a little extreme, but we'll take it.
One ball, one strike. Popped up and out of play to the right side. Well, Dusty has Murphy, Zimmerman, and Lynn coming up in the top of the 7th, as Meyer will be approaching 80 pitches. Important for Gio to keep this thing right where it is. 1-2 with nobody out. And a ball driven to left center, way out of here. We told you that's a big boy, C.J. Cron, and he just hit one a mile to make it 4-0.
See where the location of the pitch was. Yeah, bell tie right down the middle, changeup. Sped him up, he caught it out front and rode it out of here for his 4th home run of the year. I'm telling you, you get that Angels bullpen, you never know. Doesn't look good right now for the Nats or Gio, but you just have to keep it right there and see what happens. Trust that your offense is going to figure it out.
Swing and a miss by Simmons, trying to make it back-to-back. As FP said, Cron's 4th of the year, his 47th big league home run. He was the 17th player overall taken the same year as Rendon, Goodwin, and Meyer. Simmons, a sac fly and a ground ball to third. Two and one. Change up, misses. Ball 3. On the heels of Mike Maddox's phone call, Joe Blanton is up. Is that some kind of weighted baseball of another color he's throwing against the wall?
Maybe.
There? Rendon waiting for it. Guns it over. Simmons out. First out, 6th inning. Martin Maldonado is next. Now Joe heading up the mound.
Everything Mike Maddox rolls over in his hotel room and picks up the hotel phone and says, "Get Blanton up."
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. It's room service.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully, fewer of those phone calls coming in the next few weeks.
Hopefully, you could leave it at the field, but you never know. Some coaches are that into it.
Maldonado, a ground ball to short and a pop-up foul to Ryan Zimmerman. Ball 1. Ball 2. He was all over a 2-0 pitch.
Maldonado's a guy that you know he's swinging when he's ahead in the count. Talking to Edwin about that last night. He knew what pitch he had to throw him 2-1. The slider down the way. He just left it out over. Said he would have got a ground ball if he'd have located it.
3-1. So Gio about to hit 105 pitches. 1 out in the 6th. Right under his average at the moment. Is he ready?
He's ordering chicken wings for room service. You get those messed up, you know.
And Gio not even close. 2 walks in the inning.
So this is the 10th straight start, Gio Gonzalez has thrown at least 100 pitches. Rick Porcello has 11 straight starts with over 100 pitches. So that was 106 for Gio. And the 5th straight start throwing 105 pitches. So here's the home run. StatCast is brought to you from Fios by Verizon. Fios is not cable. We're wired differently. Go to getfios.com today. Check out the number. That's a big one. 461 feet of tater. I see Jay Crone. That was a bomb.
Bouncing ball to short. Nats need 2. Murphy turns it, and the call is safe at first. Shane Robinson, as FP mentioned earlier, can fly in the outfield and on the bases.
A little slow to develop. That needed to be hit harder to turn the double play. Drew, Murphy, and Zimmerman did all they could. Watch Robinson hustle. Little guy can fly. Didn't get out of the box real well. Maybe that's why it was that close. Chris Spire decided to make a call. Are they going to look at that? Oh, headphones. All right.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of hustle by Jeff Nelson, the crew chief.
Murphy's digging it.
He doesn't waste any time. Nelson, on several occasions last night and tonight, runs over to the dugout. He was behind the plate last night. Says, okay, let's go. Let's have a decision. So here go the Nats with the challenge.
I like that. We're talking it over. We safe? We out? I don't know. Do you care? No. Where are you guys going after this? Arizona? Okay. Ooh. Any part of the glove, for those of you that don't know, I know I always say it, but we have so many new viewers all the time. Once it hits any part of leather and is secured in the back of the glove, they go by when it touches Ryan's glove first versus where the foot is. So where does it hit? Right there? Show me again. I'm going to say safe.
Yeah, any part of that foot. Looked like the ball was in the glove before the foot got flat on the top of the bag, but he may have gotten it on the front before that. Umpire made the call. Doug Eddings on the right, Jeff Nelson, the crew chief, on the left there, and Mike Scioscia awaits. Dusty would like Gio to be done with this inning without any more pitches. This one taking a while.
There they are. They're pointing at screens and taking wild guesses. I don't know. What do you think? I don't know.
Now that's file footage. You've got a shot of the Milwaukee roof there.
That's the best look. Oh. I think the white cleat by Robinson has an effect on this. He's safe. Yeah.
Nats out of challenges. The inning continues with Shane Robinson at first with 2 down, and that could be important if he decides to take off here. They've got the best running team in the American League, even though Maben's hurt. And for Dusty, that will be it for Gio Gonzalez. So he'll make it through 5 2/3. It's our UPS store call to the bullpen. If you need expert printing, the UPS store has you covered. Together, there's nothing we can't solve. The fire alarm game continues from Anaheim after this break. by American Standard Heating and Air. Go to MidAtlanticComfort.com for special offers and to find a dealer near you. And by the Lexus RX, featuring a pre-collision system with pedestrian detection. Standard. The Big A in Anaheim. Right now, the Angels, having scored 4 against Gio, looking to add on. Joe Blanton trying to keep them from doing that as he makes his 29th appearance. That ERA was a lot higher about 6 or 7 appearances ago, and Joe really finding his form here lately.
You know, that was a good challenge by Dusty Baker. You know why? Got Joe Blanton loose. That might have been a little strategy by the Nats skipper. Hey, it's close. I'll challenge and I'll give Joe Blanton, I don't know, however many more pitches down there to get hot. Gio's already at 107, so maybe the strategy of the replay challenge right there in effect from Dusty Baker.
Cliff Pennington facing Blanton for the first time. So Pennington from the left side for the first time tonight, hitting .237 off that side of home plate. Long look by Joe and then a step off. Good morning to you back home. Not a lot of baseball left to be played in this one tonight. 3 full innings after this. Now the goal is to keep it a 4-run game, stay within slam range, and hope the offense generates something. Pennington 1 for 2 tonight. Went the other way twice, batting right-handed. One.
Joe Blanton keeps pitching like he's been. It's almost like getting another guy in your bullpen. We talk about the new guys, but Joe Blanton could be a new guy if he continues to pitch the way he has.
Yeah, the Nats were looking for that after his stellar season with the Dodgers when he had that .248 ERA in 75 appearances last year. He only gave up 55 hits in 80 innings. It's a lot of innings for a reliever. 1-1 with 2 outs. On the edge, 2-2.
Dodgers won again. What's that, 11 in a row?
Yeah, they were delayed by rain a long time at the White Sox. 9-1, 11 straight.
Get it all out of your system now.
Well, Arizona lost at Cincinnati, so now that's an 11.5 game spread in the once tightly bunched West National League, and the Rockies won their game. Runner going, swing and a miss, inning over. Big 2 runs for the Angels. It's Murphy, Zimmerman, and Lynn coming up. Daniel, just a little mini slide here. 0 for his last 10. Looking to get something going for the Nats. 7th inning, straight ahead. 1-0 Nats. It's getting late. Time for some offense. And on the next homestand, the Brewers will be at our ballpark with all that power and all that speed. So that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week. Then the Rockies are in for the weekend. So check it all out, nationals.com/tickets. You like offense? You're going to like it. Yeah, we'll see Edwin Jackson in a bit of a homecoming during that Milwaukee series. That'll be great. First order of business gets something going here at Angel Stadium of Anaheim here in the top of the 7th. Alex Myers, 73 pitches, 44 strikes. So when he gets 2 outs in this inning, if he does, that'll be his longest outing of the season. He's only gone over 100 once this year.
You got a feeling he wants to show the Nats what they're missing.
Strike called to Murphy, 1-1. Murphy is lined out hard to the right field corner, robbed by Shane Robinson, and then a fly ball to left.
I think all the thrills Denard Span gave us, I think that was a good trade.
Oh yeah. I get real nervous anytime those fastballs are up around anybody's hands or above.
I've never seen a guy almost get hit as much as Murph. And he said, ow, as the ball goes by him. He always screams when it almost hits him, but he stands on the plate. Seems like he doesn't get hit a whole lot.
Hot shot, but it's right at Cliff Pennington. Daniel Murphy hit by 2 pitches this year.
Well, he's been invisible in about 8 other ones that were inside.
Ryan Zimmerman 0 for 2.
Nats have only been shut out 1 time this year, and they are looking for at least a run here.
Yeah, that was the second last game before the All-Star break. Maldonado tried to frame it. It was up and away, ball 1. Meyer, 1 other start this year, actually 2 without giving up a run, and that's 6 innings against Kansas City here. 6 innings here against the Dodgers. He had another start against the Tigers on the road when he gave up 1 unearned run. That's a tight breaking ball and perfect location. What's a hitter to do on that? Nissan will cast it.
Well, it's been the neutralizer tonight. I mean, he's working off the fastball, but that slider curve thing, whatever it is, he's really been darting that corner down and away and keeping everybody off balance with it. And you just look at his stride. I mean, he's right on top of the Nats hitters. You know, 6'9", long limbs, and when he lets go of that ball, I guarantee you it's a lot closer than hitters are used to. He is striding all the way down the hill.
Two. Close. 94 with sinking action. Ball 3.
Well, he thought he nailed the spot, and he thought it was strike 3. And PitchCast thinks it's a little low.
Tapper with some heat on it to deep short, and Simmons, an outstanding play. Airborne for the throw, 2 outs.
Yeah, he made it a really hard play look simple. That's why they're all laughing and high-fiving. Watch the chopper in the hole and how effortless Simmons makes it look. Jump throw, lot on it, strike to Crone. Look at the strong arm. That is some arm strength right there, taking a hit away from Ryan.
Adam Lind to strike out and a ground ball to first. Yusmeiro Petit. He's put up some good numbers for the Angels this year. ERA under 3. 52 innings. Couldn't stop.
Adam Lind's between pitch routine. He just eyeballs the pitcher. I mean, he's thinking about what he's trying to read your mind. What are you throwing here? There's been times when he looks out there longer than that. It's just Meyer's working so fast he didn't have a chance there. But I love his between pitch routine.
Rolls over that bouncing ball right to the bag, Crone. And Alex Meyer has 1 hit in the Nats through 7. Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim on top of the Nationals 4-0. Joe Blanton back for another inning. 5 pitches, 3 strikes to get Pennington. He faces Ben Revere
Against the DC Nationals of Southeast.
A lot of ofs. Ben Rivero for 2, 1 for 4 career against Joe. That was a pretty sharp downward movement on that breaking ball, and Revere went down and hit it extremely hard. His first base hit tonight. Ben Revere has stolen 9 bases in 12 attempts. Top of the order now, Escobar, Trout, and Pujols after him.
Yeah, slider has been Joe Blanton's bread and butter pitch over the years. Throughout his career, opponents are hitting .213 against it. 107 for 861, but this year, and it's gone down, opponents are hitting .333 against the Blanton sliders. You look at Matt Albers getting loose.
And that throw into center field, tailing to the feet of the runner. So for Ben Revere, his 10th steal, and for Matt Wieters, his 3rd error.
There was some close contact at home plate. Matt Wieters turned to Corey Blazer and asked him if there was interference. Here's the jump first. Small lead by Revere once, or again, yes. But there was some traffic on the throw from Wieters. Here you go. Might have just nicked Escobar with his hand on the follow through, and he wanted to get the call, didn't get it.
Pitch was a strike. Angels trying to get this beyond slam range now. And that slider low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Speed of Revere, infield in, you got to play way in. Stephen Drew on the grass already. He'll creep in another 2-3 steps. Daniel Murphy the same.
That's a base hit to make it 5-0. Two-hit night for Yunel Escobar. And his 26th RBI. 3rd hit of the series. Pardon me, just his 2nd. 0 for 3 last night. And here's Mike Trout.
Really got to locate that slider down the way to Mike Trout here. Make it look like a strike, break it off the plate, and watch out on the first pitch. Not a bad pitch if you want to throw that slider now.
Two and one. Yeah, numbers are great. He just missed so many games this year. 45 of them. And that's an outstanding slide piece by Joe Blanton.
Well, maybe set up by that first fastball with a little chin music on it. Old school baseball. And Joe Blanton going the other side with the slider here. Watch this. Looks like a strike. Teases his zone. That's the pitch I was talking about at the beginning of this at bat. Same one works.
Fastball high in the air, left center, gone.
Surprised they didn't try that slider again, but watch where this pitch is, and this might be the highest home run I've seen all year. I mean, maybe we'll get you some StatCast data on it unless the thing broke, but this thing was straight up. Watch how high. You can't even track it with the camera. I mean, we see some high ones down the line, but to left center field with that altitude, I mean, hit that ball straight up. The strength of Mike Trout makes it 7-0. That was a bomb.
So Joe Blanton, 3 consecutive hits here in the 7th. He's done, and the Nats are way down by 7. Nats have a day off tomorrow. And then downtown Phoenix, there it is, Chase Field. First to 3 with the D-backs. Max Scherzer started his big league career there. He's 11-5. Last 10 starts, a 1.21 ERA. They're hitting, or not hitting, 129 against him. Patrick Corbin, 6-9 for the D-backs. Coverage begins 9 o'clock. Nats Extra, Mass and 2, Friday night. All Angels here, they have busted this thing open from 4-0 to 7-0 here in the bottom of the 7th. Matt Albers gets the call with Pujols, Crone, and Simmons coming up.
Got 2-seam fastball, slider. Opponents hitting 178 against Matt.
Front door on the slider.
You know, no excuses. This is a reason, and it's a fact. When your offense is putting up serious numbers, you're out there running around the bases all night. It takes a lot of energy to score 10 runs, 14 runs, what they did in Cincinnati. They had 12 hits last night here. When it ends, it's a big kathud. It is, always. It's the way baseball is. When your team's playing well, they're spending a lot of energy. And when a streak, whether it's a 5-game win streak, a 10-game win streak, that involves a lot of offense ends, it's usually ugly. We've seen it with this ball club over the years. When they're playing well, they're hitting well, and the streak ends, it's not pretty. Tonight, kind of one of those nights with an off day tomorrow. Maybe you're eyeballing that off day while you're playing this game, and you've spent a lot of energy running around the bases in Cincinnati and last night. It's gonna happen, man. That's the schedule. Not a big deal.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Pujols. Slow roller, and Drew, a couple of crow hops, plenty of time. First out, 7th inning.
Head to the Fitz where the Peanuts will take on the Lynchburg Hillcats from July 20th through the 23rd. Friday the 21st, I'm reading this whole thing, features a 1989 Prince William County on-field jersey. On Saturday, it's Mighty Ducks Day. Matt Doherty, who played Lester Averman, will make a celebrity appearance, so don't miss that. And the first 1,250 fans will receive an Averman bobblehead. Call 703-590-2311 or visit PotomacNationals.com to purchase tickets. No way I got that in before pitch.
You did, and they're in the bottom of the 2nd there.
Did Tolstoy write that one? It's War and Peace.
Mike Trout now has 18 home runs, and he missed 45 games. He has 40 RBIs, and he missed 45 games.
It's pretty good. He's going to be a good player someday. Yeah, the guy on the right's going to be a decent player too someday. Couple of MVPs, couple of rookies of the year, couple of studs.
1-1. Albers running the fastball in there to C.J. Cron, who hit one 461 last time.
The home run was 136 feet high with hang time over 6 seconds. We're having an MVP stare down.
2-2.
I mean, they're basically in the same spot in the dugout.
Good fastball by Albers running back. Bryce has played 743 games, and through Trout's first 743, batting average almost 20 points higher. On base percentage pretty close. 12 homers the difference. 49 RBIs the difference. Albers, another strike. This one to Andrelton Simmons. 0 for 2 with the sac fly and a great play on Ryan Zimmerman last half inning.
I think the biggest difference in their games is Trout uses his speed on the bases more than Bryce does as far as stealing a base, and Bryce uses his arm on defense more than Trout. Trout doesn't have a good arm. When you talk about a 5-tool player, Mike Trout isn't a 5-tool player. He's a great player, maybe the best player, but he's not a 5-tool player. He doesn't throw well, and that's one of the 5 tools. It's for average, it's for power, speed. He gets the balls. I mean, we saw the catch he made in Camden Yards a few years back where he jumped up over the wall. That was one of the best catches I've ever seen. But I mean, it's been fun. I mean, Bryce had the scheduled day off, and you love Dusty's reasoning on that. He's managed a lot of all-stars. You travel, you play a game, you travel back, and you don't really have a break. And he's seen a lot of guys like Barry Bonds and Jeff Kent wear down after all-star games because of not having a break like everybody else has.
2-1 pitch. Trying to run it back just outside.
So with an 11.5 game lead, he's protecting his guy. He wants him to be fresh. And I know a lot of people, why didn't Bryce play tonight? Bryce versus Trout. Well, hey, it's a 162 game schedule. You need your days.
And maybe Sunday after 3 games at Chase Field, that discussion will be dead.
Yeah.
There's no hitter wants to take off in that yard. Runner with 2 outs here.
That's a great point. I mean, hitter's ballpark, take the day off here, go to Arizona, take the day off tomorrow, so you have 2 days off, and then you rake on Friday. I'll tell you what, last night, Carp, and I know I've said it a million times, one of the funnest games we've seen in a long time with these two going head-to-head, living up to the billing, and Bryce having the bigger night than Trout.
Martin Maldonado 0 for 2 with a walk. Albers, strike 1.
I just wish we got to see Mike Trout play more. You know the old East Coast bias? We're sleeping or having fun after the game, one or the other, while he's playing every night. We don't get to see him.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to watch this guy play every night. Billy Beane says it's the best player he's ever seen.
Wow. To the 8th, Rendon, Wieters, and Drew, and the Nats need 2 huge innings. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. Late night here in Anaheim, and the Nats are down to their final 6 outs. David Hernandez, big league veteran, Orioles, Diamondbacks, Phillies, and now the Angels' 34th appearance this year.
Hernandez with a big fastball, nice against the first batter face, a 152 average against. Fastball 94, slider 88, curveball to go with it at 81. From Elk Grove High School in Sacramento, I believe.
He is. Well, have to tip your cap to Alex Meyer tonight. 88 pitches, 52 strikes in 7, 1 hit, 1 walk, shutout innings. Most probably the best start of his big league career. Rendon, Wieters, and Drew here in the 8th. And now the individual thing here is the 12-game hitting streak. Rendon 20 for 41 during that time.
It's you if you ran down there and told him he could care less. He just knows he's breaking. I think when you start getting around the high teens into the 20s is when you start caring as a hitter. Fun for us though.
Up and in, 3-1.
If he cared, he's going to swing at this pitch wherever it is. Right? 7-0 game. You care about your hitting streak. You don't want to walk. If it was 20, I would expand the zone right here.
On the edge. High in the air to right, stalking it, Shane Robinson for the first out. Wieters has struck out and hit a fly ball to left.
This is where you have to get selfish too and get yourself a knock to show.
Check swing.
I'll tell you what though, a 7-0 loss on a plane ride is a lot easier than a late inning loss or a 2-1 loss. Not that you ever want to lose, but there's certain losses that you kind of just chalk up to the schedule and say, so what? And Gio cares because he's going to take the loss, but sometimes the schedule gets you.
2-1 to Wieters from a former battery mate, and that's outside, ball 3.
Check out MASN All Access on MASN National social media platforms. A new social media show will be broadcast on Facebook Live and feature game previews, fan tweets, and Q&A with players. Follow MASN Nationals on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat for all the fun. MASN All Access.
3-2 to Matt Wieters on a pitch up off to the left again.
A lot of fans still here. 7-0 game in the 8th.
Tickets sold tonight, 41,065. They probably had about 25 to 30 here tonight. Angels are third in the American League behind Toronto and the Yankees in average attendance at well over 37,000. 3-2 pitch. Matt Wieters souvenir time on the left side.
Yeah, third deck.
And a slow roller right side. Crone to Hernandez, 2 outs.
Talking to Bob Boone around the cage yesterday about that 86 ALCS here with the Red Sox and the Angels.
Oh, that was amazing.
I think it was the deciding game when it was back and forth and the Red Sox finally won.
On the Dave Henderson
home run where he hopped up and down the line. I watched that on ESPN Classics a short time ago and forgot what a great game that was and forgot all the players in that game. Bobby Grich, Doug DeCinces. Talking to Bob Boone about some trips he made to the mound late in that game, and you know, everything was going on. That at bat to Henderson where they threw him a bunch of fastballs. He ran out to the mound. He had a chat with Donnie Moore and they decided on the split, and Henderson hit it out. But there was just so much back and forth in that game, and Al Michaels calling it one of the best baseball games I've ever seen.
They led game 5, 5-3 with 2 outs in the 9th. When Henderson hit the homer, the Sox scored 4. They won 7-6 and then won the last 2 games at Fenway. And tragically, Donnie Moore was never the same after giving up that home run and eventually took his own life.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the great tragic stories of all time in Major League Baseball. You just felt so bad for him. He had had a fabulous season as the Angels closer.
Just big hit after big hit. Devon White and Brian Downing crashing in left center field on a ball hit. I mean, it was just a remarkable baseball game.
Yeah, there were Hall of Famers on the field for that thing. 3-1.
All over the place. Everybody had closed stances and high stirrups back when they wore stirrups and sanitaries. kids out there, well, you're probably sleeping with sanitaries. What are those? Those are the white socks they used to wear under the stirrups. You don't even see stirrups now.
16 years later, they would win their only World Series. On the off-speed pitch, Stephen Drew rolling it over. And the Nats go 1-2-3 again. One hit all night. Angels have been really good. Alex Meyer outstanding the rest of his evening. And the Washington area Toyota dealers helping children and their families. Every time a Nats pitcher strikes out an opposing batter, it's $37 to the Children's Inn at the National Institutes of Health. Gio had 3 tonight. Blanton 1, Albers 2, and here's Enny Romero just to get this thing over with in the 8th and get the Nats up there one more time in the top of the 9th.
Yeah, fastball triple digits, you know about it. Cut fastball in the low 90s to go with it. Change up, and pretty good against the first batter he's faced this season.
High Z, Goodwin, and Rayburn next inning. It's Robinson, Pennington, and Revere here for Anaheim in the bottom of the 8th. And a ball drilled to right. High Z toward the line. 1 out. Nats won't lose any ground tonight. Braves were beaten and swept. There's Cliff Pennington, 1 for 3.
Cubs are a game and a half back. Huh.
Yeah, Milwaukee's lost 4 straight while they've won 6. Took a while, didn't it? And what a boost they got from young Mr. Quintana the other day in his first start.
I mean, if you match up the payrolls, the Cubs should beat them.
Pirates are hot. They won their 4th in a row tonight. He got jammed. Strong enough to drop it into center field is Cliff Pennington to get him a 2 for 4 night. Next up, Ben Revere, who started their 3-run rally last inning.
I'm hearing J.D. Martinez got hit by a pitch in his first game with the Diamondbacks tonight and left the game.
Wow. Revere 1 for 3, steal. And he scored a run on the Escobar base hit last inning. He got jammed on that one. The ball hovering and about 4 rows deep left side. That's extra post-game show presented by WB Mason when this one's over. And for the first time on this road trip, Byron Kerr and Ray Knight won't have a whole lot of offense to talk about unless something changes in the top of the ninth. Stay tuned. Look forward to Ray's insights and maybe his thoughts on what Alex Meyer was able to do with the Nationals lineup tonight. All the guns will be firing Friday night in Arizona with Max Scherzer on the mound. That should be quite a series. Nationals took 2 out of 3 from the D-backs at Nationals Park May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
That'd be fun. Ball be flying. Max will be doing his thing. He's got that thing for his old team, doesn't he? Maybe we can get a stat together. Max Scherzer versus his old teams. I guarantee you it's amazing numbers. I mean, you could do that with any team, but he turns it up a notch when he's in St. Louis because he's from Missouri or he went to the school there. Against the Tigers, we all know about that. And against the Diamondbacks, he's had some gems. So maybe we'll get that together for you.
Three-one pitch. And Revere drills one out to left center. To his right, Goodwin. 2 down.
My other favorite Angel moment in this ballpark was when Danny Glover led them to the championship. Did you know that Tony Danza threw 159 pitches in the championship game? He did.
Yeah, what he
I don't know.
topped out at 72.
No, I don't know what Danny Glover was thinking. He just left him out there to hang. 159 pitches.
Well,
you remember he went out there to take him out.
that'll make you a houseboy the rest of your life.
Well, maybe he had some angels on his shoulder. I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe. Right up there with Corbin Burnson and others as far as the most authentic actors' portrayals of baseball players.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd, he was normal. He was the angel.
1-0 left side. Rendon cuts it off. So the Angels will put 7 runs on the board tonight on 9 hits. Here we go, top of the ninth. To an end here. 3 outs through which to battle. It'll be Heisey, Goodwin, and Rayburn. And we'll see the Angels' only bullpen lefty, 28-year-old Jose Alvarez, native of Barcelona, Venezuela. 41 games this year. High ERA, 5.23. He's been hittable. 32 hits in 31 innings. 29 strikeouts, 7 walks. And he's trying to put a cap on the split for the home team here.
Alvarez is a 4-pitch guy. Fastball, slider, curveball, change. Fastball 91. And here comes the 8-run ninth. Are you ready?
Stay here as long as it takes. Beauty of baseball, there's no clock. Well, most of the time.
At least for this year.
Yeah, the commissioner's been pretty vocal about that pitch clock thing.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see where that goes.
I wouldn't hate it. And you know me, I don't like all this new stuff, but I wouldn't hate that. Get on the mound, throw the baseball. I guarantee you, if there's a pitch clock, it will improve some pitchers' careers. They'll be like, why wasn't I working this fast my whole life?
I think it's a great possibility. 0-1 to Heisey, and that one stays up and away. Chris 0 for 2 tonight. That's how few and far between the chances have been. 2 base runners all night. A season low 1 hit. And Heisey, 9th inning, 3rd at bat. Right off the end of the barrel there.
Can't tell you how many times in my career there's been fast workers on a team that talk a slow worker into working faster, and it changed his whole outlook at pitching. It took all the thought process out of it. We had a guy in A-ball named Chris Pollock. He was the slowest working lefty in the world. It was 3.5, 4-hour games every time he pitched. We had another guy that was 2 hours and 30 minutes. They talked on a bus in A-ball. The lefty switched to working fast, and his career took off out of nowhere, just because he used to think too much about pitches, stand on the mound, do the rosin, walk around, walk 4 steps on the grass to receive the throw from the catcher, then back. And we're out there on defense falling asleep. So finally we challenged him, and he did it. And Kurt Reeder, a guy for the Giants, did the same thing. He used to work fast, and guys used to kind of take his lead.
Yeah, Woody was great at that. This one hanging up for the left fielder, Ben Revere. 1 out.
You know, Max basically calls his own game when he's out there, and he works fast. Gio's picked up his tempo a lot this year with tons of success. I don't know. I think if, summing it all up, if they had a pitch clock, could be a game changer for a lot of guys.
Top of the order, Brian Goodwin, the only Nats hit tonight. A clean double down the right field line with 2 outs in the 6th. The only blemish on a would-be no-hitter by Alex Meyer, who had walked Rendon the inning before that for the only runner through 5 innings.
Boys having a chat. Curious to know how many guys are going to stay back for the off day here in Los Angeles tomorrow and maybe fly to Phoenix late tomorrow night or early Friday morning.
Well, if you're looking at the temperature gauge, might not be that tough a decision. Absolutely smoking in Arizona these days.
You got a beach here, stuff to do. I don't know. Disney.
1-2. Counts even.
Legoland.
It's a small world. Strasburg Sunday, Roark Saturday, Scherzer Friday.
We still have It's a Small World?
I don't know.
That was one that, as I grew up, got lamer and lamer every year. It was great at first.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I get it.
Called, 3rd strike. 2 outs in the 9th.
It's not a strike. Thank you. Been low all night, though. I'll give him that.
Angels still have wild card hopes. A win tonight puts them 3 under 500, and of course 17 back of Houston, but starting today they're only 4 back in the wild card. That thing in the American League is going to be nuts going down the stretch. In the National League, it looks like the wild card's definitely going to come out of the West with Arizona playing Colorado. So they win tonight. They're 3 out in the wild card race despite being under 500. Charles Nagy alongside Mike Scioscia. Be a pretty good battery right there. Ryan Rayburn 0 for 3 tonight. And Angels are a strike away. Oh, 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. So in 2 hours and 48 minutes, the Angels shut out the Nats, who go down scoreless for the second time this year. 0-1-1 Washington. We'll wrap it up from Anaheim after this break before Nats Extra.